Race 4 on the program is the Soccer 6 maiden plate over 1700 meters. First out on parade is horse number 6, Aloft, with Kevin Derere. Number 1 is in the oven with Sherman Brown. Aloft turns to go down. Seven is African Love Story with Henny Kraling. In the oven turns to go down. 2 is Divas Rockstar with Brendan McNaughton. 3 is Placid Sea with Fani Chambers. 4 Super Lumina with Kagan DeMello. 5 is Chateau with Wesley Marwing. 8 Don't Fence Me In with Ryan Munger. 9 is Roberta's Passion with JP van der Merwe. Those are your runners for race 4. Off time is 14:50.
Race 4 here today at Bardell Park is the Soccer 6 maiden plate over 1,700 meters. A couple of changes. Number 1 in the oven, now to ridden by Sherman Brown. Number 2, Divas Rockstar, now to wear steels. Number 3, Placid Sea to wear steels. And number 8, Don't Fence Me In to wear steels. 9 runners go to post here for the first leg of today's jackpot, and the current pool is sitting at just under 35,000 Rand with about 7 minutes to go. So hopefully we should get to 35, 40,000 Rand by the time the off of race 4 gets ahead. Soccer 6 maiden plate for all maidens here in Zimbabwe, going over 1,700 meters, and it looks very much like the experienced campaigners against the up-and-coming three-year-olds in this race. And my numbers here, I've got number 1 in the oven to beat number 4, Super Lumina, then number 9, Rapatis Passion, and number 8, Don't Fence Me In. Like I said, the 2 older campaigned horses in the oven, and Super Lumina, who's been running consistently against 2 up-and-coming 3-year-old fillies who are having the first start round the bend, number 9, Rapatis Passion, and number 8, Don't Fence Me In. So I've gone with experience, and I've gone with number 1 in the oven, who, yeah, he's had 30 starts for 18 places, yet to win a race. But his form is knocking on the door. You look at his ultra consistent. He runs thirds and seconds, and his last 2 starts, he's been very close. Got beaten a short head by Piece of Pizzazz, went down by half a length to Chum. Now ridden by Sherman Brown, who's looking for his 3rd win of the afternoon. And I really think in the oven is a kind of ride that will probably suit Sherman Brown's way of riding. And he gets stuck into them early, and that could just be the trick to this horse. And I do think he might just be the one today that can come home and win the 4th of the afternoon. Obviously, on the jump form line, you've got to respect number 4, Super Lumina, who unfortunately is drawn wide as the board at 9. Kagan DeMello gets a ride, and last time went down by 0.25 to Chum, finishing just in front of in the oven. She is half a kg worse off in the weights because of the sex allowance not being as much as it was last time, and that does swing towards in the oven's favour. But she's been getting closer and closer every start. Good 2 last starts. You've got to have a respect for this 4-year-old superimposed filly to run another big race, and I'm pretty sure she'll be right there fighting out the finish. But it could very well be the young up-and-coming horses that could win this race. And like I said, the older campaigners have had quite a few chances. They are in their place in many ways, and I would be surprised to see any of the other 3-year-olds that I mentioned, number 9, Repatus Passion, or Don't Fence Me In, win. And number 9, Repatus Passion, is the anti-post favorite, quite short at 14 to 10. Had 2 good starts and went down by 3/4 of a length to Tierce. And then last time out, went beaten by Stable Companion Jameson, run by 2 lengths. Going over 1,700 meters, first time around the bend. And look, it's quite a big ask to go from 1,000 meters to 1,700, but she's done nothing wrong to date. And it's not as strong as the field, so if not too green, going around the bend for the first time with JP on board, this could very well be the horse that can win this race, and you've got to respect number 9, Repatus Passion. Likewise, number 8, Don't Fence Me In, another big runner. The stable in form, they won the previous race. The money is coming for Don't Fence Me In. I see it has shortened a bit from 9 to 2 to 7 to 2. And a good debut behind Shepperton, well beaten by 3.5 lengths. But Shepperton came out and ran a good third in a featured 3-year-old race not long after that. So that looks pretty good form. Again, you're going on the bend for the first time. You obviously got to be woeful of that, but won't have to be a very won't need to be a very good filly to win this race, because I don't think it's as strong as the maidens, and I think she could just be good enough to win as well. So 8 and 9, the 2 3-year-old fillies going on the bend for the first time. Main dangers to the 2 experienced horses in number 1, In the Oven, and number 4, Super Lumina. Balance of the runners in the race. Well, number 3, Placid Sea, you've got to have a look at this. It has having its first start in Zimbabwe, and look at his earlier starts. He's run 3rd behind Diamond Coast, 2nd behind Lady Linda, and 4th behind Dictate. So it's got some decent form in South Africa over distance, going over 1,700 meters, having its first start. Not too sure how long he's been here since coming from Durban, but again, not as strong as the fields, and she could just be good enough again to win this race. You've got to look at number 3, Placid Sea. She's not a chance from draw 3. Barney Chamber gets the ride for Newbury Racing, and the Evanses are on course, so it'd be great to see them have a winner here as they are on course. So we wish them all the best with number 3, Placid Sea, and I do think she's a runner. Number 2, Divas Rockstar, another one's having its first start around the bend. Not a bad debut, and running 5.5 lengths behind Jameson Run. On collateral form with Repatus Passion, is going to have to improve it further, but she can only improve. And number 5, Chateau, a good improved run first up for the New Yard, and Gokkenterzi when running behind Chum. She's still got to improve 2 lengths on Super Lumina, but obviously improvement is there. Jackpot sitting at 37,000 Rand, just under 38,000 Rand now, and we've got 2 minutes to go. So from a jackpot point of view, I think you've got to go a bit wide here. I think take a chance with trying to catch a result. Go In the Oven, Placid Sea, Super Lumina, Don't Fence Me In, and Repatus Passion. Take a chance on Banker number 5, Perfect Grace, in the following race. Then go Carla the Rebel and Betula Uber. If you can afford to, maybe pull in Bellebok, who has done nothing wrong, but going over distance for the first time. In the last of the afternoon, you've got to look at Super Good, Nimble Dancer, Porterhouse, and Bankers Blues as the 4 main runners in that race. But another tricky race, so again, go wide if you can afford. Minute to go, they're about to call the roll, so wrapping it up, I'm going with number 1, In the Oven, to beat number 4, Super Lumina, then number 9, Repatus Passion, number 4, number 8, Don't Fence Me In.
Runners have been given the green light to load up. Placid Sea is the first to go in. Aloft is next. Chateau faces up. Super Lumina is up next, alongside Repatus Passion. Repatus Passion's gone in. African Love Story. Divas Rockstar is up next. Working on Super Lumina. Meantime, Don't Fence Me In comes up. Halfway in. Don't Fence Me In's ready. Super Lumina's locked away. In the Oven to complete the lineup. 1700 meters to race. All set. And away and racing. They got off to a pretty smart beginning. Aloft was very speedy early on, goes on to pick up the running. From back in second was Placid Sea, settles into second position. Super Lumina has come up to join those two. And then came a length back to the white cap of Roberta's Passion, sitting about 2 lengths off of the leader. Divas Rockstar is on the outside of runners. Racing in behind that was Chateau. Then came Don't Fence Me In. Towards the back of the field then was In the Oven. Races alongside African Love Story as they rattle past the 1100 meter marker. Aloft is the leader. From back in second, the dark jacket and cap of Super Lumina. In behind those was Placid Sea, races in third position. In behind Placid Sea was Roberta's Passion in the white cap. Chateau in behind those. Then a length back to Don't Fence Me In. Divas Rockstar also in with chance. Towards the back of the field still is In the Oven, an African Love Story as they come up now to the 600 meter marker. Aloft in the lead. From back in second, Super Lumina. In behind that then was Placid Sea. Dropping further back to on the outside of runners, Roberta's Passion. In the Oven is already got the Persuader out, is coming down in between runners. It's down on the center, then Super Lumina who struck the front. In behind that in second position is Aloft. Down on the grandstand side, running in snatches is In the Oven with 200 meters out. On the grandstand side now, in behind that was Placid Sea. Down on the inside is Super Lumina, but Placid Sea has this one in the bag. Placid Sea continuing rolling and will win comfortably. Placid Sea scores. From back in second was Super Lumina. Third will go to Don't Fence Me In ahead of Aloft. First time out on debut at Borrowdale Park, Placid Sea after a rest of 84 days. Farney Chambers boots him home for Bridget Styles' yard. Placid Sea with an easy, convincing victory here. Second will go to Super Lumina ahead of Don't Fence Me In, and Aloft after leading for a very long time will come in fourth. That's the result from the fourth race at Borrowdale. $1,700 meters to race. All set. And away and racing. They got off to a pretty smart beginning. Aloft was very speedy early on, goes on to pick up the running. From back in second was Placid Sea, settles into second position. Super Lumina has come up to join those two. And then came a length back to the white cap of Roberta's Passion, sitting about 2 lengths off of the leader. Divas Rockstar is on the outside of runners. Racing in behind that was Chateau. Then came Don't Fence Me In. Towards the back of the field then was In the Oven. Races alongside African Love Story as they rattle past the 1100 meter marker. Aloft is the leader. From back in second, the dark jacket and cap of Super Lumina. In behind those was Placid Sea. Races in third position. In behind Placid Sea was Roberta's Passion in the white cap. Chateau in behind those. Then a length back to Don't Fence Me In. Divas Rockstar also in with chance. Towards the back of the field still is In the Oven, an African Love Story as they come up now to the 600 meter marker. Aloft in the lead. From back in second, Super Lumina. In behind that then was Placid Sea. Dropping further back to on the outside of runners, Roberta's Passion. In the Oven is already got the Persuader out, is coming down in between runners. It's down on the center, then Super Lumina who struck the front. In behind that in second position is Aloft. Down on the grandstand side, running in snatches, is In the Oven with 200 meters out. On the grandstand side now, in behind that was Placid Sea. Down on the inside is Super Lumina, but Placid Sea has this one in the bag. Placid Sea continuing rolling and will win comfortably. Placid Sea scores. From back in second was Super Lumina. Third would go to Don't Fence Me In ahead of Aloft.
Well, the first leg of today's jackpot was won by number 3, Placid Sea from the British Stuyvesant Yard, recently relocated from the Michael Roberts Yard in Durban. Barney, her last 2 starts were obviously a bit sort of confusing because the earlier form, she had some pretty decent Durban form.
Yeah, thank goodness Mr. Evans and Mrs. Evans are here. They gave us good instructions on how this was likes to run, and apparently she went to the front a couple of times, and not bad runs. I mean, on the Durban form, she should have had the beating on this lot. It was just a question of was she fit enough and will she take to the track, and she did it excellent.
Yeah, you had a nice pace up front with Loft, you've ridden before, and you sat nicely there in second, third place, just biding your time. And when you asked the question, she kicked on nicely.
Yeah, Mr. Evans said this will be a learning curve. She wants her to rather run on than be in front and not seeing the distance. And she was very comfortable there with a good pace, and it always felt like she's going to quicken.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Bridget? Well done, this filly. I mean, she hasn't been here that long, but it was a good win.
Yeah, no, thanks, Tom. Look, I mean, she's only been here sort of 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks. So sort of come up, bit of an unknown. Before they came up, I did actually speak to Michael Roberts, and he sort of said, look, she's been knocking on the door. She would win quite easily here. And yeah, no, she's such a lovely, easy filly. Didn't quite know how to run her, but as Fani said, Mr. Evans gave the instructions, which were brilliant, and Fani rode a perfect race.
Yeah, I thought a nice win from this filly. I mean, like I said, the Durban form was pretty strong. I mean, the last 2 starts were a bit sort of below par compared to the earlier form. But I mean, we've seen worse maidens come here and win. So I mean, she had to have a chance, and she's won a good race.
Yeah, I know she has. She's won a brilliant race. And obviously a huge big thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Evans. You know, it's fantastic to have them here on course. They're huge supporters of Zim racing, of the yard and everything. And it's just wonderful to have a winner for them. So a big thank you to them, and well done to Fani.
Well done.
Thank you.
Mr. and Mrs. Evans are all the way in from South Africa to watch the racing here in Zimbabwe, and well done, Mr. Evans. You obviously know this filly from Durban. I mean, and her form was pretty solid. Like I said, her last 2 starts were a bit below par, but I mean, she's shown that she's got the ability.
Yeah, the early runs were very encouraging. Michael thought she might go a bit further, lost her way a bit, and I think she didn't like the poly too much. And the instructions to Fani were just to see how she felt from second, third, fourth, anywhere around there, and to give her a good time, a lot of time to actually pick up, and she's not a quick picker up. She likes to roll along and then pick up slowly. And she showed today that she's carried her form on from the early runs, and thank you, Fani. Wonderful, wonderful ride, and thanks to Bridget, obviously, for having her so fit.
Gail, I thought she won a very good race. I mean, when she finally got going, she won going away.
Well, I think it was a jolly good race to watch. She was in a nice position most of the way, and coming round the bend, he held tight and waited. Off she went like a rocket. Very happy we are.
I'm sure you are, and it sounds that you were the one instrumental in the instructions, and it paid off, quote unquote, the trainer.
Well, it's not often that a trainer and a jockey admits or not. Well, they didn't know. She's only just arrived. So one's got to be very careful what instructions you do give. So my instructions were pretty safe ones, really, and finally looked after them very well.
Well, it's nice to have you in town. Good to have a winner, and you've got a couple more runners, so hopefully we might see you back later.
We hope so. Thanks, Thomas.
There you have it from Mr. and Mrs. Evans here on course. Fantastic to see them here at Border Racecourse supporting it, and nice to see them being all the way here and leading in the winner. Obviously, they've got two horses in the feature race, Dictate and La Camalita, both of them with chances, so who knows, we might see them back here later. But going back to this race, well done to number 3, Placid Sea, Farney Chambers, and Bridget Steidoff winning a very good race. Confident ride from Farney. He kept it going when he asked the questions. He kicked on very well and won a very good race going away. And I think it was definitely a filly that could win a couple more races here in Zimbabwe. Second place went to number 4, Super Lumina from the Kirk Swanson yard and a King de Mello. Did everything right, just on the day beaten by the better filly. And I'm pretty sure she'll knock up a maiden pretty soon. Third place went to number 8, Don't Fence Me In from the Penny Fisher yard under Ryan Manga. And fourth place went to much improved number 6, Aloft, under Kevin Dereri for Gavin McLeod. But well done to the Newbury Racing nominee, Mr. and Mrs. Evans, along with Bridget Steidoff and Farney Chambers for winning the fourth race of the afternoon.
All set.